besties, my name is Maddie and welcome back to my channel. So I know I'm like extremely late on this, but you know, I still have to talk about the 10 books that I read in April. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So I read 1 physical copy. I read 4 Kindle books. I listened to 3 audiobooks and then I tandem read 2 books. I had a mixture of kind of everything this month. I feel like I still had a pretty good reading month. Some I was kind of disappointed with, but then I had some bangers as well. So let's jump right into them. So the first book that I read on my Kindle was In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. I rated this book 3.75 stars, and it follows 6 college kids who, when they were in college, someone dies. That's like part of their core friendship. It is now 10 years later, and they're going to kind of uncover who killed this person, because throughout everything, they've never figured out who the actual killer is. And then throughout the story, you get each kind of individual POV, I guess, of kind of their events of the night and like what they think happened or what happened actually to them. I thought it was good. I thought it was interesting. I like that we read it for our book club book. I feel like that we had stuff to talk about, but like there wasn't even a knife in this book. You know, that's not even the murder weapon. And I was like, what do you mean? You know? But I mean, if you want some drama, if you want some messiness, I feel like this is the book for you. Then I listened to Beneath the Hood by Emily McIntyre. So I rated this book 3.75 stars, and this follows our 2 main characters, Jackson and Blakely, I believe is her name. And Jackson works on cars for like movies, I guess. So he gets this once in a lifetime opportunity to go to Hollywood, and he works on cars that are gonna be in movies, I guess. And Blakely's dad owns said body shop. And Blakely is like a really big social media influencer. Like she has tons of followers, but her dad believes like it's a silly career and it's just kind of like a hobby. And he's like, you need to just kick it to the curb and work for me. So she agrees to like do like an internship, I guess, to kind of prove to her dad that she's like worth something. And throughout there, her and Jackson start spending a little bit more time together. And throughout that, obviously, their relationship evolves. So you have age gap in this because I think he's like 9 or 10 years older than her. There are harder topics that Blakely goes through. She deals with a lot of drama and stuff in her life. So I would definitely search up your triggers if you have to do so. I liked it, but I didn't like it enough. I mean, reading Emily McIntyre's like Never After series or whatever that's called, loved it. Loved the dark aspect of it. 10 out of 10 good time. This one though wasn't for me, and I don't know if I didn't like it because I listened to it and maybe the audiobook just didn't do it for me. I mean, the narrators were good, but nothing like stuck out. You know, I would never be like, oh, I need to go out and own the physical copy. And I feel like that's pretty telling for me when I read a book and I don't want to own it. I'm like, maybe it wasn't as good as I think it, you know? So take that as you will. Then a book that I read on my Kindle was Drop Free by Indy Valentine. I read this book 4 stars and I had such a great time with it. So this follows our 2 main characters, Navy and Bodhi. And they kind of have like a little fling, a little something go on during one of their friends' like wedding at a resort or something. But he's immediately like, no, puts an end to it, stops. And he's like, you are my best friend's little sister. I can't do that to him. I can't do that to you. This is where it's gonna end. And she's kind of heartbroken, and they just kind of never talk about it again. And now it is a few years later, and she's just kind of gotten out of a really rough relationship, and she's needing a place to live. And Bodhi's like, why don't you come live with me and a few of my teammates? He's on a baseball team. You know, it'll be fine. And Navy's like, okay, it won't be that bad. We can coexist together. So she's basically just trying to live her life, trying to figure out what she kind of wants to do, and kind of like, you know, who she wants to do. And our man Bodhi cannot handle that at all. He's like, absolutely not. And he is so obsessed with her, but will not let himself like fall for her, because he also has some trauma going on in his life and his past and like what he's had to deal with. So he's kind of like really guarded and stuff. Gosh, it's so good. It's so good. I love this little series Indy's making. I feel like her writing is 10 out of 10. I get so immersed in these worlds. I'm having such a great time with it. I cannot wait for book 3. Tenley is my queen. I can't wait to read about her. In August. Oh my god. Don't even get me started. But I would highly recommend this if you want kind of like the pining and a little bit of forbidden, because like he doesn't want to fall for her. 10 out of 10 good time. Definitely pick this book. Then I read on my Kindle Only in Your Dreams by Ellie K. Wilde. I rated this book 4 stars, and it follows our 2 main characters, Melody and Zach. So they are at a party right after basically like high school graduation or something like that, and they both kind of confess their feelings to each other, and Zach is like, love that, I need to go talk to someone real quick. Leaves, and basically never comes back. just leaves her there. And Melody's obviously hurt by this. So she's like, what do you mean? And now it's a few years later because they haven't talked since. She's gone through a really bad breakup. She's moving back home and she's just kind of finding herself again. And Zach is like a head football coach or something like that at this town. And they're all of their extra friends are still friends, like, because Zach's best friend is Melody's brother. Okay, so you got brother's best friend's little sister. Yeah. However that kind of wraps up and goes. And they're going to try to kind of create a friendship once they kind of get back in acquaintance with each other. So much fun. So cute. And it is such a cute story. Like, I loved reading about their relationship. I really liked Melody as our FMC. I thought she was so strong and just really like try to find herself and be the best version of herself that she can be. I also love the little aspect that Zach had with a player on his team because it almost took over as like single dad a little bit without like the parent aspect, but like he was almost a caretaker for one of his players, and I thought that was really sweet. Overall, I had a pretty good time with it. So the only physical book that I read, and it just happened to be my absolute favorite. I don't even have it with me. It's probably like behind me. So we're not picking her up. I'm staying right here. I'm freezing. I have a blanket around me. This is ridiculous. Doesn't matter. The book is Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage. 5 stars, 6-star series, 10 out of 10 good time. You know, should I have to say more? Because I don't think so. But I will tell you what it's about because obviously I just want to talk about them. So this follows our 2 main characters, Dusty and Cam. And when they were in high school, they kind of had like a little fling, okay? They had a little high school sweethearts, if you will. But everyone in the town was like, absolutely not. It's not going to work. Cam's parents suck. They're like, Dusty's trash. Absolutely not. And they kind of let outside forces a little bit dictate their relationship, especially from one person's kind of POV, if you will. I don't want to say too much without spoiling it, so I'm gonna leave it at that. They basically just kind of moved on from each other. Yeah, kind of. And Cam is now going to get married. And as she's like, you know, in her dress, getting ready, about to walk down the aisle, her fiance is like, no, it's not happening today. I can't do it. So he basically just stands her up and she's like, oh, okay, well, what am I supposed to do now? And it's now her picking up the pieces and Dusty's gonna be there to kind of like help her do so. This man wears slutty little crop tops. He's a blonde man, a cowboy, filthy mouth. I just can't. I cannot get over him. He's got tattoos. In my mind, he's the hottest man I've ever seen. Sorry, Zach, but something about Dusty really gets me going. This entire Rebel Blue Ranch series is one of my favorites. The epilogue had me sobbing. I couldn't even see. I am so sad that it's done. I love this found family that this book like kind of created. Love all the characters. I love all their relationships. I love the girl friendships. I love the guy friendships. I love everything as a whole. And I'm so excited to read Lila's new release, I think in like September. I think it's gonna be absolutely phenomenal. But if you have not picked up the Rebel Blue Ranch series, do it right now. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. So, a book that I tandem read was Even If It Hurts by Marnie Mann. I rated this book 3.5 stars. It's a wild ride, and I'm going to tell you right now, it is not a book for everyone. Not everyone's going to like this book. Not everyone's going to like this book. Not everyone's going to have a good time with this book. And people will have very mixed feelings on how this one ends. So, we have our main character, Chloe, and Chloe is in college at the beginning of this book. And she's kind of living her best life. She's doing whatever she wants. And she decides she's going to study abroad. And there, she goes to London, where she meets Oliver. And her and Oliver have a great time. They're hitting it off. What could be better? Except she knows it ends at the end of this summer. So we are now fast forward 10 years, 5 years, somewhere down the line where she meets a new man named Lance. And her and Lance hit it off. What would you know? They're now married. And they're living the best life that they possibly could be. But you know, what can you do when stuff's going too great, right? She gets a job opportunity to go back to London to do like something for her job. And who's there? You guessed it, it's Oliver. And now we have a love triangle. It is told in past and present timelines. You get, I think it's dual POV, I'm almost positive. I can't, don't quote me on that. It's basically her picking which one she wants, figuring out where her life should be. And when I tell you, my jaw was on the floor at this epilogue. What do you mean? I didn't have a favorite man, but just how it left, I was like, whoa, what? What do you mean? There were some spicy scenes in this though. I was blushing. I was flabbergasted. I was like, there's no way this is happening. And I don't know if it's because it's like that aspect of it, but it was insane. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not for everyone, but I'm glad I read it. But then like I'm thinking about it and I'm like, am I glad I read it? I don't know, because like there's so many mixed emotions, and I feel like that's what the whole point of this book was. just to kind of like leave you guessing for the rest of your life, basically, because this epilogue, I tell you what, I was listening to it and I was listening and we were having a great time. Epilogue hit, done. And I was like, that's it? That's all you're gonna give me? What? I still can't get over it. Anyway, okay. If that sounds interesting to you at all, I would recommend it. But let me tell you right now, don't take it out on the book if you don't like it, okay? It's not for everyone. Yeah, but still try it if you want to. Then another book that I tandem read kind of at the same time, basically, is Redeemed by Lauren Asher. I rated this book 4.5 stars. A perfect ending to this series. So this follows our two main characters, Chloe and Santiago. And Chloe has not always had the best home life growing up, and she's looking for her dad. So she takes a little DNA test, and it's like, oh, your dad's in Italy. So she hops on a plane to LAX. Am I dreaming? No, it's not. It's not. No. So Chloe heads to Italy to find her long-lost dad, and there she's sneaking through trying to find his house, basically, because she's like, oh, I know it's this one. I'm just gonna crawl through the like bushes to get there, because that's not even suspicious at all. And there she runs into Santiago, and Santiago's like, get the off my property, get out of here, because he thinks she's this fan of his because he's a big F1 racer. But something really traumatic happened to him, so he's kind of in hiding. He's in this little spooky gothic mansion castle type thing that he's got going on, and he's basically secluded. He's like, I don't want no one around me. And Chloe's like, no, dude, I have no idea who you are. Don't try to kidnap me, though. I really don't like that. Like, this is not dark romance, okay? She is not living in that fantasy world. She's like, absolutely not. This man's a psychopath, and I won't make it out if you're alive. So she dips, drops her phone, and she's like, oh, I gotta get that back. So what does she do? She breaks into his house the following night and gets her phone. As she's about to leave the house, Santiago comes back with his family, and Santiago's like, what you doing? And Santiago's family is like, why is there this strange woman in your house? And they're like, oh, it's because we're dating. And now you have the fake dating trope in this. I had so much fun with it. I love a damaged man. I love a broody man. Santi is my favorite hero in the Dirty Air series, hands down. Phenomenal. I also really loved Chloe. I thought she was so great. Just there were just a few little things towards the end that I was like not vibing. I kind of like both of their parts, but you know, they healed together. They did it. It all worked out in the end. You know, I highly recommend Lauren Asher's books, all of them, honestly. I think her writing's super easy to get into. Her stories flow so well, and I always just have such a good time when I'm reading them. Okay, so for another audiobook, I have Tempt Me by Nina West and K.A. Tucker, and I rated this book 3.5 stars. It was something. It was something, let me tell you. So this follows our main character, Abby, and she's basically been sheltered her entire life, I would say, and raised in like a church or very religious, something like that. And she like comes home to her boyfriend one day, or like shows up to his dorm room, and he's cheating on her, and she's like, what do you mean? What is this? And everyone's like, oh my goodness, just give him another chance. It's because he's straying from the Lord, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, no, man, I need a break from this. So she takes a job offer in Alaska, and she's gonna go work at this hotel. And there she meets Henry Wolf, and he is like the heir of this hotel, and he needs a personal assistant. And that's gonna be Abby. Does she have any personal assistant experience? Absolutely not. Why would she? And basically, he's gonna show her the ways of how things go. I was listening to it and I was sweating. Like, some of these things that this man was saying in my ears, I was like, I think I need to take a pause on it, you know? It was something. Not much plot going on, if I'm being honest. Like, I guess she's trying to figure out her life and trying to like find herself again. But yeah, they're getting it. And I wasn't complaining, you know? So if that's what you're in the mood for, this is the book for you. Then I read on my Kindle Mad Love by Willow Astor. So here's the thing about this book. I originally rated it 4 stars, but the more I was thinking about it and when I was sat down to like do this video, I think I'm gonna bring it down like a 3.5, just because I don't think it's my vibe, which sucks because it's a single dad romance. That hurts me so much when I don't like a single dad. And I feel like I was riding that single dad high when I finished it, and I was like, oh, it's a 4 star. It's fine. I don't think it is. And I'm gonna tell you the premise of it, and you're gonna kind of figure out why, I feel like. So this follows our main character, Weston, and he gets a call that his baby is at the hospital because he was in a car accident and the mother passed away. Weston had no idea he had this child. I mean, Caleb, the small baby, he's young when this book starts. Like, he's still a baby. But Weston had no idea. The mom never told him. Nothing like that. And he's basically not known that he has this small child. So there he meets Sadie. And Sadie is actually the mother of his child's sister. So you have those lines crossing already. That's kind of weird, right? We can agree that's a little strange. Because the whole time I was thinking, I'd be like, I don't think I would like if I was either Sadie or the sister that passed away. I don't think I'd like either one of those options, you know what I'm saying? And Sadie really has no rights to this child now because Weston is now in the picture. And she's like, please don't take this child from me. Like, I've raised him since he's been a baby. I mean, he's still a baby, but like, don't take him from me still. So they agree that they're gonna move in together and raise Caleb together, and then they're gonna fall for each other. And like, I just can't, the more I think about it, the more I can't get behind. I don't know, maybe it's just me being my pettiness that I am and like the jealousy that I have in me that I couldn't vibe with it. And now that the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm like, oh yeah, I don't think I would like that. So this could be a personal preference, and I'm just not like, the whole premise of like how it became is not my vibe. I don't know. So we're gonna leave it at 3.5 stars. Sucks to say, I love the cover too, but I think I'm still gonna buy it. Just because I want this entire like single dad club, whatever you want to call it. This is part of an interconnected standalone series. And I like the other characters. I love the writing. I just feel like this premise of this one wasn't for me. So I feel like the other ones, like I think like the mom is no longer in the picture. I think for another one, like they're co-parenting. I think another one might be like a foster type thing going on. So like those premises sound better than this one. So maybe it's just the first in the series. Just isn't for me. Okay, and then the last book I read, well, I listened to it, was The Right Move by Liz Tom. I've read this book twice so far this year. Physically and then audiobook. I'm like, this isn't really, like, that's fine. I can put it on in the car when I'm driving. I'm not going to pay attention that much. No, I was locked in. Your girl would sit on the couch, play. Sit there. For what reason? I don't know. I do know it's because Ryan Shea talking to me. Whew. Whew. Anyways. So this follows our two main characters, Indy and Ryan. And Indy's gotten out of a bad relationship. She needs a place to stay. Ryan is Indy's best friend's brother, Stevie's brother. This whole Windy City series, if you've not picked it up, hit up right now. Rewind It Back came out yesterday. Doesn't matter. Continue talking about. I just get so excited about this series that I just kind of boop, 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 bop all around. Anyways, so they're going to start living together. They're going to be roommates. And of course, no lines are going to get crossed because why would they? They make a rule book. They say they're not going to fall for each other. Absolutely not. Until Ryan's like, Indy, I messed up. I need a fake girlfriend. And I'm going to introduce you right now as said fake girlfriend. Go with it. And it's them now fake dating. I love them. They are my favorite. I don't know. I go back and forth. Sarah and I were just talking about it today. Like, they're just, the books get better and better and better and better and better and better and better. You know? Like, I just can't. Like, if I think about Ryan too long, I'm like, he's my favorite. If I think about Kai too long, he's my favorite. If I think about Isaiah too long, he's my favorite. If I think about Xander too long, he's my favorite. Like, I can't pick a favorite. Honestly. They're too good. The entire books are too good. The stories are too good. You know what I'm saying? 10 out of 10 times. But I had to read it, or I had to listen to it, I guess, again. I got it available on Libby, and I was like, check out. Yeah, I'll listen to it right now. And again, had 10 out of 10 good time. 5-star book. Highly recommend if you have not read about Mr. Ryan Shea yet. You don't want to miss out on him. I promise you. So those are the 10 books I read in April. I know this video is a little late. You know, we're halfway through May, but I still wanted to record. I was sick for a while, you know, busy girl, but I still had to get this video out to you guys, and I want to talk about them. You know, this is solely just for me, basically. And I'm glad that you want to sit and listen to me yap about my books all the time. But as always, let me know what you read in April. Let me know what you're reading in May too, if there's any good books that you've read recently, you know? And as always, thank you so much for watching today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Love yous!